Hi, I'm an English literature major, and as an English literature major, you'd probably imagine that I really love to read. And I do, but more important than that, I love stories. In the same way that I can be inspired by a great novel, I can also be equally as inspired by a film or a TV show. In fact, there was one television show in particular that was instrumental in shaping my love and passion for stories. My name is Jonathan Scott, and this is the story of how one TV show changed my life. Growing up, I, like most kids, watched a lot of cartoons. I loved watching things like SpongeBob, Tom and Jerry, and VeggieTales, but one show in particular stood out among the rest and would affect how I viewed stories for the rest of my life. That show was Avatar: The Last Airbender. This cartoon had an intriguing plot, fantastic world building, and complex characters, and used these elements to teach me things about story and narrative without me even realizing it. Ever since I was a small child, I always loved to draw comics and write stories. The comics and stories that I made were often influenced by what I watched, and Avatar was no exception. A lot of what I watched in Avatar made its way into the things I created, giving me subconscious lessons in art and literature while my passion for those kinds of things was still forming. Then one day, I finally understood something that I never had before. It was the summer of 2008. I was 10 years old, sitting in front of the television screen, watching the series finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I experienced so much excitement and joy watching the action unfold on screen. I was overwhelmed with anticipation, wondering how this epic tale would end. I watched attentively as the main character of the series, Aang, unleashed all of his power to overcome the evil Fire Lord and save the world. The last few minutes of the 2-hour special showed a world at absolute peace after years of chaos. Aang and his love interest stood on a rooftop as the sun was setting over this peaceful new world and kissed as the words "The End" appeared on screen before the credits. All of my life, I had heard and read those words used. The end, or they all lived happily ever after, but this was the first time I genuinely felt a story come to a close. The feeling of resolution. It was the slow halt at the end of a roller coaster. In that moment, I had a grasp on what stories were, how you should feel at the beginning, the pull to keep watching or reading when you're in the middle, and the closure you should experience when you get to the words, "The End." After watching that final scene on Avatar: The Last Airbender, storytelling made sense to me. It impacted me so much that I feel the same feelings watching the show now, 12 years later. Most importantly, it caused me to love and appreciate good stories and good literature. I majored in English literature because I wanted to experience more stories on a deep level and be able to write those kinds of stories myself. And maybe, just maybe, someday, some 10-year-old kid will read a book or watch a movie or a TV show that I wrote and feel the same feeling that I experienced when I watched Avatar.